Pisces, last month saw you sort of dealing with change. And this month in July, there is more change. So how are you dealing with it? I think reasonably well, but there are some potential pitfalls here. The overall energy is one of probably looking back, of reminiscing. It might even be of childhood sweethearts. But this is an energy that comes throughout the entire reading. In the past, you were certainly full of love, probably in control of your emotions, as you often are, aren't you, Pisces? Your current energy is that of having to make some choices, but you know not all of those choices are good. Maybe some poisoned chalices amongst them. The future sees you self-curtailing yourself, putting up barriers to your own activity. I wonder why. What is it that you're frightened of, Pisces? The energy that leads to the outcome, I think, is a good energy. It's an energy of temperance. Now, this could be temperance in terms of avoiding hedonistic style behaviour. But it might also simply be about taking the middle ground, seeing the other side, not rocking the boat. What would change this is you making some small victories. Be difficult, but step by step making victories. And people being aware that you're making this progress. I wonder why. Could it be that it goes to your head? I honestly don't know. And the outcome, which comes from the temperance, which I think is about you taking the middle ground, is, yes, yet another change. A change that should bring with it positive things. So I don't know why you're self-restraining. Maybe it's a misinterpretation of temperance. But let's get into it for you, Pisces. Now, Pisces, the overall energy for the month of July is one of reminiscence. It's likely to be the distant past, not the recent past. Maybe even childhood memories. I don't know why these are important. I just wonder if it's indicating that there are issues from your childhood that are unresolved. Many signs have been having that this month. I can't really see anything else that tells me it's that. I mean, as I say, it's distant memories. Could even be childhood sweethearts. Things that probably happened in your childhood. But I'm not sure what they are. You'll know better than me, maybe. Or maybe you don't, and maybe that's why this is occurring now. Now, in your recent past, we have an energy of love, of emotional control, of understanding emotions, of yourself and others. And this is very much you, isn't it, Pisces? Very much you. And you dealing with change tends to be this very sort of understanding way, understanding others, putting your own ego behind a barrier, maybe. I wonder. We've got this indication about the early past. I wonder if this is a much deeper spread than I'd given it credit for. I'll come to it later. Your current energy is one of many opportunities being placed before you. Not all of them are what they seem. Some are poison chalices. You can see one of the chalices here in the water has a snake coming out of it. Well, you wouldn't want to choose that, would you? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to choose it. It also suggests to me that if you spread your risk, maybe one going bad isn't so wrong. So even this I don't necessarily see as a negative energy. It could be. It has the potential to be, but I don't necessarily see it negatively. Now in the future you're being very guarded. You can see in this rendering crouching down behind those swords, frightened of the outside world, as it were. It means that you're not participating in the bounty that is out there for you. You're not enjoying what it is that you might be able to enjoy. Does that suggest that this poison chalice was a poison chalice and you've been burnt yet again? It could well be. It could well be. But you know, your character is one of maybe over-submission. You know, you try to see the other point of view, but to the point of deprecating yourself. And I wonder if this is just a reflection of your character in these times of immense change. Now, the energy that leads to the outcome is an energy of temperance. So, I mean, it could be about avoiding hedonism. You know, I've recently had a heart attack, and it was largely because I've been stressed out for well over a year trying to claim my pensions and my inheritance. Well, my inheritance has took 30 months. And yeah, it has stressed me out. But the upshot is I've now got all of the money. But because I've had a heart attack, I can no longer drink, or at least not much. I never did that much since I've been in Indonesia, at least. Although as a result of the stress, I was possibly binge drinking a little on Friday nights in Jakarta. I know you're asking, what is a Muslim doing binge drinking? Well, yeah, I need to ask that of myself as well. But, you know, I never did drink so much. I was smoking, and I've given that up. But the other thing that I think I've had to give up is flying. I might do short-haul flights somewhere, but, you know, I'm not going to go long-haul anywhere for sure. And even somewhere like Bangkok is probably now questionable. The final thing I might say is that as a result of some recent information, I'm not too certain even about visiting Bali at the moment. So my hedonism is definitely curtailed, but I don't think it's talking about that. I think it's talking about you taking the middle ground, understanding the views of others. Well, this comes naturally to you. You're a natural diplomat, aren't you, Pisces? You'll always self-deprecate and hide behind swords, you know. So it comes naturally doing this. But it does lead to wonderful changes for you. Now I've got a bit of a dilemma with the next energy. Because on this particular rendering from this pack got this. It suggests to me that it's about scoring some victories and gaining public recognition for them. But the meaning of the Six of Swords on most Rider-Waite tarots is that of moving on and dumping baggage. And it makes more sense to me to interpret this as moving on and dumping baggage, because you're clearly thinking about the past. I think you're responding in ways that come from the past. So I think you are being encouraged to think about the past, get rid of the baggage, the shadow from the past, and move on. Now, because you're applying this temperance, and as I say, I think it's the fact that you see the other point of view, take the middle ground, don't attempt to rock the boat, you go for conciliation always, and that's you, Pisces. I'm pretty certain that the universe, God, Allah, whoever you might see it as, is rewarding you. And rewarding you with more change. And you might say, well, I've been through so much change, I don't need any more. But the world is in a state of constant flux at the moment. There will always be more change. And over the medium term, this will be very positive for you. Therefore, I see you sort of hiding behind the swords as just a temporary thing, that ultimately this is positive for you. But if you could have addressed the reasons why you react in the way you do, then things could be easier for you. Pisces, last month was all about how you cope with change, and to a certain degree so is this month. There is positive change this month. But I think you don't notice that immediately, so immediately after this month. Let's face it, you're a very loving person, a very understanding person. And you do tend to take the middle ground and see the other point of view. So you've got many admirable qualities, but I think to a certain degree, some of this reaction is located in your childhood. And you've never really resolved these issues from your childhood. They're just ways of you behaving and ways that you will continue to behave until you resolve it. And what that does mean is, despite there being positive change, in the future you're going to hide behind things. You're going to put up barriers for yourself which prevent you from really enjoying what you should be enjoying. And what you really need to do is exploring your past, moving on and dumping the baggage. Easier said than done, I know, because it does mean scratching into those distant memories of probably your childhood, and why do you react in the way that you do? Or in your case, it's almost a non-reaction. Why are you so like that? And it does need ultimately exposing, even though you do it so very, very well. There is, and I think this isn't about opportunities. There is an energy this month about multiple opportunities, and not all of them are what they seem. Some are poisoned chalices. But I think this is referring to what you will uncover if you really think about your past, probably your childhood, that although many things were quite positive, there were some things that were quite negative. And of course it's those negative things that you need to expose and resolve.